Welcome, EWU hockey fans. This is Gary Allen waiting for Blaine Spencer to come up here. He'll be doing the play-by-play. Tyler Pastani is not here tonight. He'll be back tomorrow. Eastern Washington's taking on the University of Montana Grizzlies tonight, which is a pretty good hockey club. They lost only 5-1 to the number one team in the nation a couple days ago, and that's University of Mary. So, starting lineup for the Eagles, we got Reed Kaiser, we got Patrick Dinwiddie, we got Jake Best. I'm trying to think, I can't see the number on the far side. I think that's. And as soon as I see his number, I'll give it to you. I can't pick it up. The defenseman is Ethan Florko, who's an outstanding D-man for Eastern. And number 19, we got Joel Luss. That's the starting five for EWU. And Brendan Carew is in net tonight for the Eagles. Good to see him back. He was on the injured reserve last week. Montana has a puck deep in the Eastern zone. Then when he tried to flip it out. But number 10 of Dylan Ferreira, he kept it in for the Eagles. Here's Reed Kaiser on the near boards. He beats one man, loses the puck. Lusk goes right on top of it, stole it. Here's Mr. Spence. He's back up here now. I'm just hammering you on the air. You're okay, Blaine. You're all right.
Oh, what? No, we couldn't get audio working? Oh, yeah, we're having a great start to the day.
No, audio's working. Audio's on. And Mitch Hunt got taken down into the net. Whistle blew, and there is no penalty on the Grizzlies. Well, Blaine, what are you expecting out of Eastern tonight since Montana only lost 5-1 to the number one team in the country a couple nights ago, University of Mary?
Yeah, for me, we got to dictate some early pace here. I feel like we have to utilize our physicality and speed early on, really set the tone for it to be indicative of how these 3 periods are going to unfold for us, especially tonight. We got to be able to be the first one to score and really put Montana on their heels.
That's a great analogy because I really think Eastern, if they can get on the board early, that might soften U of M up a little bit. But they were a good hockey team. I remember them last year. It was really solid for their first year back in playing in the Mountain West. So I anticipate an even battle tonight.
Gary, I want to get your 2 cents. I wasn't here this past weekend, so you were able to see us play Western last weekend. So how did we look last weekend? Is there anything that we can translate from last week to this week?
Yeah, Friday night Eastern looked really good against Western, and Western did some adjustments that Eastern did not counteract, and that's how they ended up losing the second game. But if Eastern keeps that free flow, wide open attack, like right now, that was.
I believe that was more. I'm going with more. I can't see the number from out here. We're figuring it out on the fly, ladies.
Well, it was a nice shot, and there is not a number 20 on Eastern's roster.
That was Mitchell. Mitchell's wearing 20 tonight. That was a late change.
Oh, that's good for Jordan. That was a nice shot by him. But back to your question, I'm hoping Eastern stays with an anticipatory style game and just let the play come to them rather than trying to play into a box system that I think got him in trouble against Western last week in the second game.
Now that'll be intriguing to see if they play more like Saturday or if they play more like Friday. I think that'll be indicative because usually for us, our Friday nights have been better so far this season than our Saturday nights.
And that's one thing I'm really hoping Eastern changes this weekend. They have got to stop splitting at home, which is fine. I mean, at least they pick up a W, but usually you want to split on the road. You want to try to get both at home. And right now, there just hasn't been happening to them. They'll win Friday night and lose that Saturday game. So hopefully they change that this weekend.
Rister by Lust by the blue line, saved there. I think it's going to be really fascinating to see how, especially with us playing at Montana in a couple weeks, how these 4 games really unfold to see how adjustments is that we are called for an offsides there.
Well, remember Montana last year, they were a quick team. They're a deep team. They got about 4 to 5 lines that they brought up here in Spokane. So they're deep. And obviously, they have to be fairly quick to match U of M's speed in a couple days ago. So it'll be interesting to see how the two teams react to the speed level because Eastern's very quick when they want to be.
Montana brings it into their zone here. Nice poke check there by Hunt. Rister from the outside, saved there by Carew. Just about 5 minutes in here, ladies and gentlemen, and we're still scoreless. Both teams with a shot apiece. As Flood dumps it in. Excuse us, it's Will Hayes actually in net tonight. Excuse us on screwing that up. This is dumped back in. The Grizz look for it to clear, bring it into neutral ice. Good stick there by Hofacker. Flood gives chase. Coming the other way is Ferreira. Rister saved there by Carew. And it's a good sign to see Carew back in net, especially after it looked like it was a potential scare last weekend.
Yeah, I'm glad he recovered quickly from that injury because he's a sharp goaltender. And the Kirby played well last week in both games. He did a really nice job for Eastern. But it really helps when Cruz there too, because you got two goaltenders compared to just one. So I'm glad to see him back in net.
Absolutely, because then you're almost, as a coach, you're thinking about, please, you don't want to be thinking about that, like in potential goalie injury. Then you're doing an emergency goalie in there at the last second.
And
I
know they have Spencer Burton that can play locally in case of emergencies, and so thankfully they didn't have to contact him at the last minute last weekend, because he's an outstanding goaltender. But I mean, that means that their main goalie didn't get hurt last week.
Absolutely. Florco keeps it in for the Eagles. Sent around by the Grizz. Kaiser's able to pick it center, pass Best. Looks there, deflected shot, saved there by Hayes with the glove hand.
That was a quick reflex by Hayes on that one, because that puck was definitely going to go over his shoulder if he wasn't careful.
Well, and that last second stick, it looked like Lusk had an empty net for half a second there. Late poke check there by the Grizz.
Well, you'd expect good things out of Lusk every time it's on the ice, because that kid just hustles constantly. He knows no other way of playing hockey except to hustle. He's an outstanding hockey player.
And I feel like that hurt us on Saturday night, not having him available. I think it was due to suspension, if I'm not mistaken. So
you are correct, and I still wonder about that. I mean, he might have got the 5. I don't know about retiring him the rest of that game for the next game, but that's how it was. And Eastern did miss him.
Montana's probing here in the zone.
But I'm glad to see Jake Best back out on the ice, because Eastern's missed him for the last 3-4 games also, because he's a go-getter. So that's nice to see him back.
Yeah, it's very good to have some of, especially after the showcase. We were in that last game. We were extremely short. So very good to get some guys back for this weekend.
There it is.
Here we go. Kaiser one-on-one with Hayes. And finish.
Outstanding save by Hayes. Again, they did that stretch pass, and they started it in the neutral zone. Nice job at anticipating the pass coming to Reed Kaiser, and he broke in, did a nice deke, but the goalie stuck with him.
And Kaiser for a second there thought he had him too.
Yeah, he did.
He did the quick turn just to double check to make sure, and then Hayes had it left side.
Hayes did a really nice job of tracking that puck.
But so far, 8 minutes in, very good signs from the Eagles early on.
Yeah, they're playing University of Montana straight up, and so they're matching any kind of speed Montana's been trying to do, especially in the neutral zone. So it's been a quick game so far.
Hunt right here with the Whisker sent just high. That was a great spoke check by Sean Smith that gave him the opportunity for Hunt. Brought in by Malkowski. We got a penalty coming here.
I think Hunt's going to get called, I think, for a penalty for Eastern.
Still on the delay here is that Montana unable to keep it in back into neutral ice. They're still on the delayed penalty. Montana continues to probe with the extra attacker. And there's the whistle for the penalty. Nope, Sean Smith is the one heading into the box. I did not see that one.
No, the only thing I saw was Hunt. He ran into I didn't see Smith at all. One thing I'm hoping with Hunt, Smith, and Thompson, they go down and start playing a low-high game, because as talented as those three players are, they could get several scoring chances by doing that, because they're all three are extremely quick and heads-up hockey players. So I'm interested to see if they'll go to that game tonight.
Right. Montana probes here, trying to look for the centering pass, deflected there by Florco as Kaiser clears it down.
And you know well as I do, Eastern will try to get that break, even though they're shorthanded. They will go for an offensive attack when they can.
As Reed goes for it right there, puts it on net. Save there. Hayes looks extremely sharp early on today.
He does. Well, it's good to see Jake Best out there. I was just sitting there watching him on that penalty kill. He's all over the place. He's giving Montana fits right now.
Just flying as Best goes off for a change here. Brought back in. Sits up by the blue line. Frank keeps it in for the Grizzlies. Looking for centering pass there. Set just wide. I think that was Knutson with the shot. Rister there, covered up by Carew. Shot by Frank from the circle.
Now that was set up by Dinwiddie on D. He made the U of M player shoot where he did, and I think Carew knew where he was going to go, so it was an easy save for him. But that was set up by Dinwiddie.
About 45 seconds left on the penalty kill. As Dinwiddie sends it around the boards. Picked up by Bulk as it's cleared away.
Good to see Hofacker and Flood out there because they're good penalty kill players also, and so is Thompson, who just came back on.
Rister there, saved by Carew again. That's Hendrickson with the shot. Hendrickson with some speed there.
He's
just
real quick.
Pulled away from Flood right there.
He's really quick. He definitely has another gear to him.
Face off one there by the Grizzlies. Sent up to the blue line to Hendrickson as he swings it around. Good stick there by Best. Like you said, he's all over the place. Grizzlies bring it back in. Lovely deep there. Passes off. Lee unable to find Hendrickson as the Eagles are back to full strength. 9 minutes remaining in the opening period as Kaiser picks it up in the neutral zone, bringing it in. Good poke check there by Hendrickson as he clears it away for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I don't think Reed saw that extra defenseman coming on the ice, and that's what they pinched him and took the puck.
A little bit over halfway. One thing that I'm seeing early on is that the Grizzlies are trying to manufacture what the goals, an opportunity. Well, I feel like the Eagles are trying to counter it, get some counter attack opportunities like here as Kaiser's trying to bring it back in.
Yeah, they're actually using what Montana is doing is against them to generate some offense, which is good to see because they'll get some opportunities playing that way. See, there's Jake Best out there again. Not only can he kill penalties, but just his style. He's a thorn in everybody's side because he never quits. He's always moving. And that's what makes them effective.
And that's a lot of our forwards up front. Their motors is what is our real calling card up front.
Oh yeah, you can look at Smith, you can look at Kaiser, you can look at Thompson. They're all like that. Flood, they'll just go for it, and they have the speed to do it, and their quickness can reverse it if they have to come back and do a back check. They can do that also.
And it doesn't matter if they're struggling on offensively, but the motor never stops quitting. Shot there, saved by Carew as Montana keeps it in. One thing that I've seen so far as an adjustment is that the Grizzlies are really trying to get a man right in front, looking for a centering pass for a deflection.
Well, they're definitely doing a cycle that way. And if you look right now, they got two guys right in front of the net at Eastern. They have to be careful of that because one guy looks like a decoy trying to take the defenseman out, which sets the other Grizzly up all by himself. So Eastern needs to watch that. They're doing it almost like a 1-1-1-2 zone play in front of the net.
That reminds me a lot of how Utah was playing against us a couple of weeks back. Really trying to flash 2-3 bodies in front of net.
And they were very efficient at it. They were outstanding at doing that. But the good teams will do that. They'll plop a guy in front of the net, two guys if they have to, just to screen the goaltender. And if you have a goalie like Brandon Carew, who's hard to beat, That's one way to try to get him off his game is block his vision. Because if he sees it, he's going to stop it. Plain and simple.
Right. Turnover in the neutral zone there. As the Grizzlies continue to kind of start to dictate play here towards the end of the first period.
Well, what they're doing, they're pinching their D-man right at the top of the circle. So actually, they almost have 4 players in on top of Eastern. And that's causing a little bit of trouble.
Blood's pockets picked there in the neutral zone. Shot there just goes high. But from Walker. Walker's able to keep it in. As Rainford brings it around.
So you see right now they got 4 Grizzlies right on top of Eastern.
And they have 1 guy staying up towards the blue line just in case of a picked pass. Peru swings it around to Florco. As he mishandles it, shots deflected wide.
I also noticed the Grizzlies are shooting high on Carew, and there's a trip. They got away with one of those. They slew-footed Carew in the goal crease.
As Carew covers it up.
And I think.
And they didn't like that.
No, I think. If I'm not mistaken, that's Ryan Carew that really took exception. That made sure the Grizzly knew, like, he did not appreciate it. And Brandon Carew, he's talking to the referee about that. That was pretty blatant. That was wide open, and I'm not sure how he missed that call.
Oh, yeah, that was.
But Brandon's brother definitely let him know, like, nope, you're not going to do that anymore. So good to see that.
Brotherly love right there.
Well, Easter does, and I like that out of this squad. They will stick up for each other in a heartbeat. But again, I noticed Eastern's going high also on Hayes. So I'm not sure if they watched some tape of each other. I think that's the route to go. I know last week they were going high because they were doing butterflies, but Hayes doesn't look like he's doing a butterfly stance now.
No, he's not. He's been staying pretty up high. Centering pass. Great stick there by Cheney as he clears. That was most likely be an icing, and it is.
That was a nice poke check by Carew also. He's the one that kind of just got to stick right there at the end. Nice job by him. Heads up.
4.5 minutes remaining here in the opening period. We're still scoreless. 6 shots apiece.
This game seems to be going even. Fast.
It's
extremely even right now.
Extremely even game. Very fast. So you're right. Could have sworn I said it was the 10-minute mark about 2 minutes ago.
It's been entertaining. Both teams are trying to clog up the neutral zone on each other, and they're doing some little feather tape to tape passes, which is getting them some breaks. So that's how they're both attacking the neutral zone.
Rister there, saved by Carew.
Oh, it's good to see Carew having such a solid game, especially after being on the IR for 2 games last week. He hasn't looked like he skipped a beat. He's a tough goalie when he's on his game.
Face off here. Hunt wins it. Sent out in front, though. Oh, what a glove save there by Carew. Deflected, able to get the glove up and adjust just to send it wide.
That was definitely going on the top shelf. Nice play by him. Grizzlies used the D-man for Eastern as a screen, and Carew picked it up at the very end.
Good stick there by Carew. Another save there by him.
Another nice poke check. Oh, now the bodies are flying a little bit.
Walk mishandles it there. Potential opportunity out in front. We're going to have a Montana penalty. And here we go. I think the rivalry is starting to kick in a little bit now, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I'm trying to figure out. The initial penalty, I think, was going to go against Eastern. And then Montana took exception to it. Then Thompson took exception to that and went and just kind of blew up the Montana player.
It looked like it was a slash on Hofacker, actually, because there's 2 Montana men going in and now 1 Eastern.
Well, Hofacker, either he did a great job of faking it or they haven't caught him yet because he's not moving off the bench. Yeah, it's getting a little bit chippy Blaine out there, it looks like.
Well, it all started from that little trip on Carew that didn't get called. You can see that Eastern's not going to allow them to be pushed around since tonight.
No, you could tell that got under their skin, and they responded that way. And so when that little skirmish happened, then they went for it. So it looks like the Eastern's going to get a power play, which is really nice for them because they haven't been on one tonight, and they definitely have the attack. I know they got Kaiser out there. You got Best. And is that Lusk?
They got Lusk, yep. Eric just came on as well for the power play.
And Florco's out there, so that's a solid power play line there.
Out to Florco. Christopher's blocked there, out in front. Unable to clear the Grizzlies as Florco's able to retain it. Oh, missed pass there as it's back out into neutral ice. And Eastern has to probe.
But I'm really liking what Jake Best is doing. And he does this every time he's on the power play. He just kind of slowly sneaks to the side of the post, waiting for that pass where he's at right now.
Christopher by Kaiser, saved there by Hayes.
Or any kind of rebound. Plus, he's blocking the vision of Hayes. So that's a nice setup by Jake.
No, without question. And it's so casual, right? It's
It is.
almost like he's literally trying to bait the Grizzlies into not thinking that he's going to be a part of the play, and then he's right in the middle of it.
No, if you can watch him do that, he's just so subtle. He just kind of glides backwards there and not making sure no one sees him. He's not running into anybody, and he's always there in that spot. That's instinct there. That's plain instinct by that kid.
Kaiser picks it up as he's bringing it into the neutral zone. With speed, tries to make a move. Stick there by the Grizzlies, able to poke it away. Out to Florco. Carew's able to keep it in as he dumps it down. Swung around the boards as the Grizzlies are able to clear. 40 seconds left on the power play for the Eagles. 2.5 minutes remaining in the opening frame.
It's good to see Ryan Carew out there too. He's been improving each and every game. We talked about him last week, but the kid is really, really coming into his own, and it's good that he's getting rewarded minutes.
Oh, that was a lovely move by Hofacker. Just couldn't get the shot away in time.
And the tank went in there. He was looking for it, and he just kind of whiffed on the shot, but good for him. And he just kind of went through two Grizzlies.
I love the nickname.
Yeah, it's perfect. And that's in due respect, my guy.
Right?
It's perfect for him. The guy is
totally indicative of how he plays.
Yeah, he's just going to run over you if you're in his way at all.
Smith dumps it in. As the Grizzlies are back to full strength, sent back down. That should be an icing, and it is. Ooh, that was closer than I thought.
Well, the Grizzly coaching staff did not agree with that icing on that.
Well, it looked like Knutson had maybe it just gotten there in time to beat an Eagle down the ice, but
so now they're changing. That's why they're going to have a face-off at the center.
Yeah. All right, Gary, 1:49 remaining here. Thoughts on the opening period?
Outstanding. Both teams have played really, really well. There's been very few mistakes by both clubs. I think they're doing what they want to do right now. They keep doing this. This is going to be a heck of a hockey game.
And if you're in the coach's corner right now for both teams, what would the adjustment that you would try to make? Or would you just keep playing your game?
For Eastern, I would go low-high, especially with that one line I was talking about with Thompson, Smith, and Hunt. For Montana, they were doing a great job in the neutral zone of stretch passing, and they kind of went away from it. I think that if they went back to that, they'd have more success.
Great poke check there by Lusk as he brings it in. Lovely deep there. Backhand scores!
Outstanding.
Beats Hayes 5-hole as the Eagles take the lead.
Outstanding by Mr. Lusk on that one. He went and deked on that one defenseman from Montana, and the puck kind of rolled away from him, and he picked it up between the guy's legs and did a nice backhand. I think he fooled Hayes, but nice job by Lusk to stay with it, not to give up, just kept going for it, and he got rewarded by it.
I think Hayes kind of got caught off guard there because Lux didn't really catch all of it on that backhand.
I think he thought his defenseman had it, and Lust did such a nice job of getting it between his legs. I think he did catch him by surprise.
Grizzly wrister sent out wide there as Kaiser sends it into the neutral zone, looking for Lusk again.
See, that's what makes Lust so dangerous. He doesn't quit. It doesn't matter. He's constantly trying to make something happen, and that time he got rewarded for it.
Wrister there, blocked. Shot there was by Ferreira. About 38 seconds remaining here. Grizzlies swing it around. Dump back in towards the circle. Good check there by Carew. Grizzlies are able to maintain it up towards the blue line. Shot there, saved by Carew, pad save. 15 seconds remaining. Shot there by the Grizzly goes wide. Shot comes around. Grizzlies have to reset. Eagles try to get in a change as the Grizzlies bring it back in. Great stop there by Carew, and that is the opening period. Your Eastern Washington Eagles lead 1-0. Thanks to Joel Lusk with a late backhand goal. Stay tuned for the second period.
Welcome back, all you Eastern Washington Eagles hockey fans. My name is Gary Allen, waiting for Lane Spencer to, he had to take care of some business downstairs. Been an extremely entertaining hockey game. 1-0 Eastern. They're getting ready to drop the puck. Dinwiddie shoots the puck on the far board. Reed Kaiser tried to drop it in, but it lost the puck to Owen Lee for the Grizz. Jake Best did a nice job of corralling the puck for EWU. Back down deep. Kaiser has it, stops it. Carew had it, lost it on a shot. Flokel picks it up deep in Eastern's end, just flutters the pass into Grizzly zone. Thompson gives chase. Best tries to poke it away, gets it in the neutral zone, kicks it over to Reed Kaiser. Kaiser's battling with Franks from U of M. Flokel has it, shoots it in deep. Blaine Spencer shows up. He's back. Thompson's right on the doorstep. Had two nice shots. Great job by Will Hayes.
Sorry, everybody. I was talking to President Sherry McMahon, so I am back.
It's called Frozen. That's what it's called. It's called Frozen.
She did a great job.
He's killing it. I didn't want to interrupt. It was his time to shine.
Faceoff's coming deep in University of Montana zone. Mitch Hunt wins the draw, kicks it over to
Lovely poke check there by the Grizzlies as they bring it into the other end with Smith leading the way. Smith looking for Hunt. Grizzlies deflect that and are able to keep it in. Grizzlies able to keep it in the zone, pinning the Eagles back here a little bit. Lovely move there, centering pass. Rister sent high. Carew covers it up. 2 minutes in. Grizzlies playing with a different intensity than we saw earlier on in the first period, trying to get the equalizer.
Well, they're doing a nice job of forechecking right now, and they're putting a relentless pressure in Eastern zone. Carew standing tall, but again, I find it interesting. The Grizz are shooting high on him, and I don't know if they picked something up on tape where they thought they'd have to go high on him, but so far most of their shots have been up.
Well, the one thing that's intriguing to me, especially with Carew coming back off the IR, and was a lower extremity injury, you would think you want to be testing that butterfly low to see if he's able to move like he was before the injury. Rister there hits the crossbar.
Again, the shot was high, but it hit the top crossbar. But again, I'm with you, Blaine. I'm surprised they're not going low unless they didn't realize he was out of the lineup.
That shot was by Morrison as Morrison picks it up again. Great poke check there by Hofacker as he's able to clear it. Sent back down as the Grizzlies give chase and pick up the puck down in their own end. Centering pass looking for Morrison again. Flashed out in front. Picked up there and pushed aside. That was a great shift by Morrison there.
Oh, it was a tremendous shift.
Rister there, saved by Carew. Shot there was by Ferreira.
Carrera's had a strong game for the Grizz also tonight. They have some really outstanding players on this team. But there's no question. I think you hit it right on the head, Blaine, that the Grizzlies decided they were going to come out and start doing a 4-1 attack and just try to see if they could put a lot of intensity in their offense, see if they can get one by Carew.
And they're interchanging themselves very well right now too. It's not like everybody, like a defenseman staying back. Defensemen are one of the people moving up, and sometimes it's the center forward that's actually dropping back as that person staying up by the blue line.
Yeah, the rotation's been really solid. But I can't believe how deep they are, how many players they have here for this game tonight.
Yeah, nearly the whole score sheet tonight. Full. As the Grizzlies send it around here, sending the pass deflected, picked up by Cheney down in the zone. He passes up the boards looking for Lusk. Big hit there. That was Hamlin. Then Hamlin was able to get the wrist saved by Carew just there earlier on. But you can see the Grizzlies are definitely taking it up a notch. Eagles really need to weather the storm here early on.
Well, they're playing bunched up again. They got to get spread out again like they did in the first period.
Kaiser shot goes just wide. Hits the side netting. So Grizzlies pick it up, bring it the other way. Smith finds Hunt as Hunt brings it in. Rister from the circle is blocked there. Sent back around the boards. Carew's able to keep it in and dumps it back in. Goes out of play.
I'm just counting. Grizz has they have 20 players that they brought up for this game tonight. And very impressive turnout for them. But again, that line right there with Thompson, Hunt, and Smith, they could easily go to a low-high game because the way they rotate amongst themselves, they're really effective at it, and they're very smart players, and they know where they want to be. And so I expect to see them doing that more often as this game goes on.
Another save there by Carew. Grizzlies really focusing here on pinning the Eagles in as the Eagles send it down, and that's going to be an icing coming back the other way.
Well, that's one thing I think the Grizzlies have adjusted to. They did a little forechecking in that first period, but they're emphasizing that in this second period, and that's why they're putting so much pressure on Eastern, because every time the Eastern goes down deep to get the puck, they'll send two Grizzlies in on top of them to try to create a turnover on that. They've done a really nice job of adjusting to that.
Without question. And right now it seems like the Eagles' only way to kind of catch a breather has been a couple icings early on so far.
And in a way, that's smart by Eastern to do that. Try to.
There's going to be another. No icing.
They waved it off, but they're trying to slow them down. So that's not a bad idea for a couple times, but they don't want to get in that game constantly against the Grizzlies.
Brought back in by the Grizz. Shot deflected there by Eriks. As he looks for Smith. Picked up by Smith in the dual zone. Massive hit there as the Grizzlies come away with it. Tries to make a move. Good stick there by Dinwiddie. As Hofacker picks it up.
Tank, man, there's no quit in Hofacker, is there? He's just going to go in and get it. He doesn't care.
As Hofacker's able to pick it up here. Centering pass for Flood. Just misses him. It's sent back in the neutral zone as Dinwiddie dumps it right back in. But without question, early on in the first 6.5 minutes, the intensity of this one has definitely been raised up a notch. This is picked up here by Florko in the neutral zone. As he's looking for Mitchell. Able to deflect it in, no icing. The Grizzlies are able to pick it up and send it right back around the boards. Florko's able to keep it in for the Eagles. And Mitchell's able to send it around behind the net. Kaiser's able to keep it in the zone. Picked up by the Grizz. Potential mistake there by Florko in the neutral zone. Rister saved by Carew there on the stick side.
That was a great save, but it was a nice job by Reed Kaiser riding off the Grizzly forward that was coming in on top. But if he wouldn't have, he would have had a point-blank shot on Carew.
Florco's shot there, saved by Hayes.
Yeah, a little push and shoving. Jake Best is involved with this one. I can't see who the Grizzly player is. I think it's William Smith for the Grizzlies, but they were changing pleasantries.
I think pleasantries are a kind way to say it.
They were chatting. How's that? I tell you, one kid that is continually impressing me is Jordan Mitchell. Each game he's getting stronger since he's gotten off the IR. He's playing again a solid game tonight. He's doing really well for the Eagles.
As the Grizzlies are heading into the box, penalty here is the power play here for the Eagles.
I think maybe Mr. Smith had more words to say than Mr. Best did.
As that's Knutson who went into the box.
Oh, okay. So he must have said something coming out because I didn't see him at all anywhere in that play.
Huge opportunity here for the Eagles as Florco's unable to keep the face-off in the offensive zone as they regroup. Hit there along the boards is Lusk. As Best tries to poke it back in as it's dumped back in by the Grizzlies as Carew picks it up behind his own net.
But see, if you watch Lusk on that play, that won't be on the stat sheet. But what he did really well, he got tied up with the Grizzly, and he wouldn't let him go off the boards. He kept him in a hip check, and he couldn't get a break.
Hunt with speed coming the other way. The poke check. As Hunt's looking for a penalty there, looking for a potential penalty shot. No call there as he collides into Hayes.
One thing I've noticed what Eastern's trying to do now with as much intensity and speed the Grizzlies are trying to do in this period, they're using that against Montana. And they're starting their offensive attack using that speed against them. And so far it's worked. They've had 3 really outstanding shots.
About minute 15 left on the power play for the Eagles. But you're right, Gary. That's one thing that they are definitely trying to utilize is their quickness out here on the ice. Especially with the Grizzlies almost going to a more of a physical style of game in this second period. As the Grizzlies are able to clear, Crew's going to pick it up. Able to send it around the boards. Pick up by Lusk, back around to Kaiser, back to Hunt. So they're doing a little bit of a weave here behind their own net. Lusk brings it in. Poke check there by the Grizzlies. They dump it, send it back down. Grizzlies are doing a really good job on this penalty kill, keeping it down in the Eagles' defensive end.
That's part of their forecheck. They're just relentless on it, especially in this period compared to the first period.
Potential opportunity out in front for the Grizzlies. Shot goes wide, but again, they try to beat Carew high. Shot type of pass there by the Grizzlies. Nobody able to get a piece of it. I think Hunt might have gotten away with one there. As Kaiser brings it back in. Grizzlies are back to full strength. Looking for Best out in front. Lovely move here as Knutson comes back on a potential breakaway with Carew. Beats him tops. Oh, that was a save there.
It looked like it went off the crossbar. I wasn't sure if it hit the netting or not. We don't have replay tonight, but that would have been interesting because the Montana player did a nice job of putting the puck.
And the Grizzlies bench looks like thought they scored for sure. So that's interesting, but there was no reaction by Knutson, so it doesn't look like they potentially – I'm going to be completely honest. I thought it hit the back of the net, so – that's on me for getting that one wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize.
You're okay. You're all right, Blaine.
Wrister there. Tank with the block.
Well, one thing the Grizzlies are doing, they took a page out of Eastern because they were attacking when they were shorthanded, and that was impressive by U of M.
Grizzlies bring it back into the zone. Carew, great poke check there as he's able to make a save. As the Grizzlies are able to keep it in. Swing it around towards the circle. Deflected shot wide. As Hofacker tries to bring it away, unable to. Grizzlies are able to keep it in. Out in the middle. Shot there. Waiting for the whistle, covered up by Carew.
That was a smart cover by Carew because Eastern was running around quite a bit. They were chasing the puck, and the Grizzlies were just making every pass they wanted at that stage. Nice job by Brendan. Eastern's got to settle in a little bit more, and they're going to have to try to get Grizzlies compact a little bit more because right now with their forecheck, they're having their will right now in the second period against Eastern.
And the Eagles just look a step behind at the moment. They really do.
And if you notice, the Grizzlies are doing quick changes. They have such a deep bench. I think they're trying to wear Eastern down because I've noticed their shifts are a lot shorter this period than in the first, which is smart by their coaching staff to do that because they have 5 more players than Eastern has.
Delayed penalty here. Shot saved. Rebound out in front. Scored. That was Pablo Frank. Carew made the initial save. Frank picks up the leftovers and scores. And we're tied at 1.
Great job by Carew on the stop. He made actually 2 saves on that, and the third one just got away from him, and they put it up top when he was already on the ground. But again, the Grizzlies are doing a great job, and Eastern's getting a penalty on this. Looks like Eriks is going in the box.
Because I know there was a delayed penalty when they scored there. They were taking their goaltender off, the Grizzlies. But you have to say, through these first 11 minutes, that it was a deserved goal. Montana has really dictated this period so far.
Without a doubt. No question about it. They've taken the play to Eastern. I think that's what they wanted to do. They were just going to go straight offensive attack with a lot of intensity, use their speed, and see if Eastern could stop them. Right now, Eastern isn't coming up with an answer.
Best defense is a great offense.
Yep. And to be easy for Eastern to change this, all they got to do is take the body a little bit more, clog up the middle, and back check a little bit, and they can slow down the Grizzlies. But right now, they're not doing that.
Face off won by Hofacker as Dinwiddie sends it down. As the Grizzlies are on the power play. Good stick there by Thompson as he's able to keep it down in the Eagles' offensive zone. Hofacker gives chase. Grizzlies come away with it. Hendrickson sends it into the neutral zone. Picked up by Dinwiddie again. Deflection keeps it in the neutral zone. Hofacker's able to poke it down into the Grizzlies' defensive zone. Looked like Hayes almost called out the play that they wanted to run there back from net. Gave a couple of hand signals there to the rest of the squad. As Hendrickson's wrister saved there with a pad save by Carew. Thompson tries to clear. Unable to. Kept in by the Grizzlies. Florco sends it around the boards. And the Grizzlies have to regroup in the neutral zone. Henderson. Oh, go ahead, Gary.
And sorry about that, Blaine, but I didn't catch what Hayes was doing. I was watching Ferreira, how he was playing. He was nonchalant. He was in Eastern's zone, slowly but surely looking for a deep pass, and the Grizzlies tried to get it to him, and they missed it, but that was a nice play by him. He had the defenseman beat on that one so they could get that pass to him.
Yeah, I don't know if Hayes was actually calling out a play, but he was definitely doing a couple of hand signals to the rest of the group.
Well, that would have to be – they might be setting it up off of him because watching Ferrari, he was at the top of the circle on Eastern's end and slowly skated back out looking for that stretch pass.
Knutson brings it around. Back to Knutson at the circle. Blocked there by Dinwiddie. The Grizzlies send it out. Rister from the circle, sent just wide and high. Power play is done. Eagles are back to full strength. This pass there by the Grizzlies that they have to bring it back into the neutral zone. Grizzlies come back in with speed. Centering pass there, deflected by Dinwiddie. As Eagles are able to pick it up. Lusk brings it back in the other way for the Eagles. Rister goes wide. Kaiser's slap shot on goal, saved there by Hayes. Grizzlies try to send it back in. Battle in the neutral zone here for the puck. Won by the Grizzlies. That's another component that we've really seen with the forechecking. Dominating the neutral zone the Grizzlies have in this second period.
Well, the Grizzlies just been relentless on their pressure on Eastern. Every chance they get, they're flooding two guys on the one defenseman for Eastern, and it's working really well.
Shot by Knutson was blocked, sent wide. Carew covers it up off of the ricochet.
That was a nice job by Carew of smothering that puck. Eastern needs to settle down. He knew that his team needed a quick break off of that one because right now, University of Montana is just putting all kinds of pressure on Eastern.
Even though the shots on goal don't indicate really that, you can see the dictate of play if you're really watching that, how much Montana is starting to really force the envelope here.
Oh, Montana's definitely owned this period, no question about it.
The Grizzlies send it down around Carew's net. Eagles try to clear. Hunt sends it around, picked up by the Grizzlies. Dittman has it up by the circle. Pass there. Great poke check there by Eriks. Centering pass deflected there as the Eagles are able to bring it back out in the neutral zone. Hunt dumps it back in. Dittman gives chase. Picked up by Smith in the neutral zone. The Eagles really just cannot find the grasp of the puck right now to even get any sort of offensive pressure going. Big hit there by Hunt in the neutral zone. Grizzlies are able to bring it back in. Shot there. Carew smothers it.
Well, Montana's definitely boxing Eastern in. They're not allowing Eastern to at all start an attack. I think that's part of their offensive attack by the Grizzlies. They're just putting so much pressure on each Eastern player. They're just trying to shoot the puck out without really looking at where their guy is at. You got to tip your hat to University of Montana right now for changing their style the second period.
Shot there, deflected up by the blue line. Hofacker picks it up. Flood snags it in the neutral zone. Grizzlies are able to pick it up, and they're coming back the other way. Centering pass there, deflected. Carew smothers it up. That was Morrison again. Morrison's having a fantastic period.
Yeah, he's all over the place. I don't know if he's taking much of a break with that many players on, but he is gone. He seems to be always out on the ice. But
and it looks like he's been the one that's been, unlike, I know most of the team's been doing shorter shifts. It felt like Morrison's been the one that's kind of been doing a longer change, unlike the rest of the team.
And he may be one of their main playmakers, and so they try to complement him with other players out there and keeping him out a little bit longer.
Grizzlies keep it in the zone here. They swing her up the boards. Picked up by Malkowski up on the blue line. His wrister goes wide. Rainford sends it around. Wrister sent wide by Wagner.
Eastern just needs to settle down and quit chasing the puck so much. They need to spread out a little bit more and see if they can start attacking the Grizz, because right now they're not at all. They're just trying to survive, and that's unlike Eastern. They're a lot stronger. They attack, and they need to go back to that style of play. But, you know, University of Montana is doing a great job of not only forechecking, but just putting pressure even in the neutral zone on Eastern. So they made some major changes in between periods.
And how would you, for the Eagles, try and stop chasing the puck and try and settle into this period? There's only 3.5 minutes remaining in a free-flowing second period, but how do you try and make that adjustment when you know you've been pinned in for already 17 minutes, it feels like already?
Well, one, I would definitely start using the body more. Stop trying to use your stick and chasing the puck. Start slowing them down with the body and then spread them out a little bit more. The Eastern, I mean, they need to spread out a little more. If they do that, they'll get Montana chasing them like they did in the first period. They just kind of reversed it. Eastern's chasing Montana, so it's a flip-flop of the periods. But if I was Eastern, I would start using the body a little more to try to slow them down, especially in the neutral zone.
The Grizzlies were called for an offside there. Face-off won by the Grizzlies out in the neutral zone as they send it in. Cheney with the poke check there, unable to get it clear. Shot there, saved by Carew.
See, and there's a great example of what I was just talking about. Eastern's not attacking them. They're sitting back and let Montana dictate how they're going to set up. Eastern needs to go back and start attacking them.
Shot there was deflected as Mitchell picks up the puck and just skies it into the neutral zone. Friendly fire there as Hunt tries to lay a hit, accidentally gives Smith a nice little forecheck. Grizzlies bring it around. Picked up by Frank. Frank sends it into the neutral zone. Picked up by Orlick as he brings it in for the Grizzlies. Orlick's pass sent around the boards. Out in front, Carew saved there. That was Lee with the shot backhand. The Grizzlies continue to pin them in. Mitchell gives chase to a puck. Able to keep it in for the Eagles. Good check there by Mitchell as he's able to force some pressure. Factor tries to lay some lumber.
See, now Eastern's picking up the body checking. You know, now the Grizz are kind of bunched up more, and that's slowing them down a tad bit.
Flood dumps it back in for the Eagles as the Eagles make a change. I missed what they called there.
I think they're going to go with an intentional offside on Eastern. But if you notice there for that little, like 20 seconds, Eastern went back on the attack and using their body, and that definitely slowed down the Grizz. And that if Eastern does that, they'll get control of the game again, but they're going to have to start attacking them more often.
Face-off won by the Eagles there. Center and pass by the Grizz. Brister sent wide by the Grizzlies. Sent back, right back out into the neutral zone. Hendrickson has it, swings it around to Knutson. Eagles are trying to bring it back in with Lusk. Poke check by the Grizzlies in the neutral zone as they're coming back the other way. Kohala tries to make a move.
I'm not really sure what happened on that one. Dinwiddie went down.
Looks like it might be going against the Grizzlies, though.
And I know there was a Montana player that they got a cross check. That's what happened. That's why Dinwiddie went down. But if you look at the way Eastern's played now for about the last minute, they're using that body, which they have players that can do that, and they have enough skill that they can translate that and transition to a quick offensive attack. And right now that's worked for the last minute. They've slowed the Grizzlies down quite a bit, and they're kind of tipping the ice a little bit more for Eastern. And this is a big penalty for the Grizzlies. I don't know. I think they're going to get an unsportsman on this one for chirping too much, the Grizzly player.
Looks like it's Knutson that's heading in. Knutson's had a very solid period up until the penalty.
Yeah, but he was chirping at the ref, I think, a bit too much, and the ref had enough. And so my guess is...
double minor, 4 minutes.
That was interesting. They had the first Grizzly in the box, and then he came out, and then he went in for 4. So
Must have been Knutson that they just ended up bringing the wrong guy in, and then he ended up doing the extra chirping to get the extra 2 minutes on top of that.
Well, this is big for Eastern right now. On a power play for 346. This is huge for them.
Hunt from the blue line, shot deflected and out of play. 27 seconds remaining in the second period as we're tied at 1.
All Eastern needs to do is get back to their attacking style and their intensity and get the Grizz chasing them, and they'll get the puck in the net, even though Hall's played an outstanding game. Hayes played an outstanding game so far.
Grizzlies are able to dump it back in. As for the Grizzlies, I don't think you have to change a thing going into the third period.
I wouldn't. Right now, they pretty much dominated this period up until the last minute and a half.
Grizzlies bring it in here. Lister sent wide, and that will be the second period.
There was some unpleasantry.
There was a delayed hit there.
Well, Mitch Hunt is down there with a Grizzly player, and they're chatting. I'll tell you one thing. Cruz had an outstanding game for East Ryan. He's held them in, especially in this second period. There's some animosity building with a few of the Grizzlies player and Hunt. I think he's getting under the Grizzlies' skin a little bit. It'll be an interesting third period, Blaine. It looks like right there could be some carryover from this.
Oh, without a doubt. And stay tuned for the third period as we are knotted up at 1 between the Eastern Washington Eagles and the University of Montana Grizzlies. All right, let's rock and roll. Welcome back, everybody, into the University Recreation Center as we are knotted up at one apiece. It looks like we were talking about it a little bit off air. Mitch Hunt with a 5-minute, as well as Max, I'm going to botch this last name, Tohoila? How do you say that?
Tijolia.
Toholia with a 2-minute. I'm assuming it's a retaliation of what transpired towards the end of the second.
But 5 minutes, this is serious. We're trying to get the call now to see what actually they called on Mitch. But it had to be on that hit, like what you were mentioning, Blaine, in between periods. But that's going to hurt because that basically the Eagles are only going to have a 14-second power play once this all works itself out. Well, it should be an entertaining third period. The second period was really picking up on the chippiness.
Without question. I think the biggest thing is now, can we capitalize early on in this 4-on-3? But the Grizzlies going to have the power play after that, most likely, for a while. Dinwiddie picks it up. So we're going to have some free-flowing hockey, I think, here for the next minute and a half or so. Brought back in by the Eagles. Florko has it up. Out to Kaiser, up by the circle. Back out to Florko. He tries to dump it down. Florko's able to keep it in. Deflected shot by Dinwiddie, saved there by Hayes. Florko's unable to keep it in their offensive zone. Great poke check there by Kaiser as he brings it back in. Swings it back out to Florko, up towards the middle. Hayes able to make that save.
Nice job by Reed Kaiser on that. He settled the puck down rather than taking it in. He spread it out more and set up Florko for that nice shot. Good job by Hayes on blocking it. That was a nice heads-up play by Reed Kaiser.
Looked like it caught Hayes by surprise. He looked over his left shoulder, making sure it hadn't cleared him. Face-off one there by the Eagles. Smith sends it back up to the blue line to Eriks. He sends it into Lusk. Forecheck there by. Sent back up to the top to Carew. Eagles continue to probe here. About 45 seconds left before it becomes a 4v4. Shot sent wide. Picked up by Eriks. He brings it up by the blue line. Sends it down. Save there by Hayes. Pad save there. Just goes wide. The one thing that's a little bit intriguing, Montana's not really staying in a triangle here. It's almost like they're trying to get into a line and line up right in front of whoever's got the puck. Try and not give them a line of sight. It almost feels like they're kind of almost blocking out Hayes unintentionally.
It is. They're running almost like a cycle, being shorthanded by one guy with that much ice. But that is an interesting pickup, Blaine, that you did on that one, because Hayes was having trouble spotting it. You could see how he was trying to look around his players to see where the shot was going to come from.
Now we're on a 4v4 here. So the Grizzlies are able to pick it up. Dinwiddie sends it down to Kaiser. Kaiser picks it up, brings it in for the Eagles. Sent back out by the Grizz. Thompson picks it up, looks for Florko. Unable to corral it. Grizzlies bring it away. About 35 seconds here left on the 4v4. Then it's going to be the Grizzlies on the power play. Picked up by Perrick as he brings it in. Shot here, pad saved by Carew. Slap shot from outside, deflected just wide out in front. That was William Smith with the deflection. Kaiser's picking it up in the neutral zone as he brings it away. Tries to make a move. Wrister saved there by Hayes as he sends it around. Is picked up by the Grizzlies.
Kaiser did a nice job of using the Grizzly as a pick and as a screen also. And nice job by Hayes to pick it up. But Excellent job by Reed Kaiser there.
Grizzlies are now on the power play, a minute and a half on their power play here. But the Eagles have definitely settled in a little bit better in this third period than they did in the second. Found some rhythm. Centering pass there goes high. Shot there by Owen Lee, just misses. Opportunity out in front, looking for Knutson, passes just wide. Hofacker gives chase. Picked up by Hayes as he sends it around the boards. Thompson's able to pick it in and dumps it back down.
Like you mentioned, Blaine, Eastern's doing a lot better job. But if you notice, they're attacking now, even though they're shorthanded. They're not letting the Grizzlies set up like they did in the second period.
Knutson sends it down. Pass behind the net here. As the Grizzlies are probing with 30 seconds left on the power play. Knutson has it out in front. Shots, he scores! Beats Carew up top shelf. And the Grizzlies convert on the power play. They lead 2-1.
Well, you got to tip your cap to the Grizzlies on that one. They in essence put two guys in front of Carew, and there was no way he was going to see that puck. They did a nice job of going top shelf on him, but that was a nice shot by University of Montana. But Cruz had such an outstanding game. He can't feel bad on that one because he couldn't have saw it. There's no way, but just by looking at his reaction. Good job by University of Montana.
But no, you called it out perfectly there, Gary. They used a double screen there, and they had one guy out right in front of Carew up by the crease, and then Knutson kind of just funneled in right into this in between the circles and was able to get a centering pass. And that was pretty much all she wrote at that point.
Yeah, now Eastern's got to attack.
Lusk coming back the other way on a shorthanded opportunity. Centering pass for Smith. What a save by Hayes.
That was an outstanding stop by Hayes because Lusk did a nice job slowing up, did a dipsy doodle on it, put it out front. And I think it was Hunt or Smith are the one that got the shot, and that was a rocket shot. I think it was Smith that did it. And outstanding shot by him, but great save by Hayes. But again, the Eastern went back to attacking on that one. They got that break.
Yeah, it was a great little look because honestly, it looked at for a opponent that Lusk had lost the opportunity, did a quick turnaround and flashed it out in front when Smith was able to get the opportunity with the deflection.
And I think Lusk purposely did that. At first, if you looked at it, thought maybe not, but just the way he slowed it down and then really a no look behind his back pass and tape to tape. And nice play by him, but the goaltender stood tall on that one. But that's what Eastern needs to do, keep attacking on them because they get Montana chasing them, and they have some opportunities when they play that way. And they have the talent to do it, so Eastern easily could go to that game.
Well, and that was what they were doing really well in the first period.
Yes.
And then it just seemed like they were a mirror image of themselves in that second period. So got to get back to what was working right, without question.
Yeah, because they were giving Montana fits in that first period with attacking them, and they went away from the second, but they started back in the third on that one, and Montana's playing a little scattered right now.
Deflected out of play. Some of the Eagles express a little bit of frustration being a little bit down here.
But a nice crowd here tonight at the URC. I noticed the university's president here watching the game. Good turnout tonight for the Eagles.
Very good turnout. Especially on a little bit of a Halloween weekend.
Yeah.
So it's always nice. Hopefully tomorrow night some people will be showing up in their costumes.
Here we go.
Last breakaway opportunity. Hayes again with a pad save. Absolutely unbelievable. Two opportunities out in front, and Will Hayes has been up to the challenge tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
He has, because Joe Lusk did a nice job of deking him, and he tried to push the puck between the 5-hole, and Hayes stepped him.
Kaiser was looking for Lusk out in front.
That was a nice play by Lusk, though. Real sharp heads-up hockey play by him.
Gary, how do you not let the frustration now start to kick in a little bit after like 2 unbelievable saves by the goaltender when you think you potentially could have swung things already to a 3-2 lead?
Well, I think what you're noticing, with Crew and Hayes is a goaltender's battle. There's no question about that. Both teams have got to realize that. They just got to keep trying to force shots every chance they get and hope one will get by. But the goaltenders both are playing superb. You just keep putting the puck in the net, and hopefully you can get a tip in. You score that way, or then you go back and put a man and see if you can block their visions. But both goalies are playing supreme tonight.
Rister from the blue line, stick save by Carew. Knudsen picks it up. Poke check there by Cheney as he sends it around. Another stick save there by Carew. Thompson picks it up. And Hunt brings it into the neutral zone. Hunt comes around from the circle. Save there by Hayes once again.
See, again, on that one, Mitch was a little bit out on that. He was close to the top of the circle, but that's what you do. You just keep shooting every chance you get, hopefully for a rebound. And if Eastern does that, you never know. They can get a point off that one. Just keep shooting the puck.
Just got to keep peppering them, and hopefully one will fall. Grizzlies bring it into the neutral zone. Knudsen has it. Out, just about the circle. Crew dumps it around. Grizzlies are able to keep it up by the blue line. Crew smothers it.
Good cover by Brendan on that one. Smart heads up play by him. Settle everybody back down. Eastern's looking a lot sharper this period. They're looking like they did in the first, and that bodes well for them coming down the stretch.
Just under 12 minutes remaining in this one. Grizzlies swing it around up towards the blue line. Good poke check there. Crew passes it back to Hofacker. Grizzlies have it. They come back around. What a stop there by Lee. Almost stopped on a dime. Was able to get the shot away. Just sends it wide. Lee centers it. Good stick there. Shot there deflected. That was Frank who tries to get a backhand away.
University of Montana putting all kinds of traffic in front of Crew on that, hoping that they could block his vision, but Eastern wouldn't let him have a shot on that go.
And they're kind of switching it up in this third period that I've noticed is that they're kind of sometimes dropping a couple more defenders back, and then all of a sudden when they think they have an opportunity, everybody floods.
Yeah, like right now,
Right.
The Grizz went to 4 men in front, 1 defense, 1 back. Now they're back to basically 3 defense and back, so they are shifting on the fly pretty well.
Cheney turns it over. Spurs smothers it.
Well, we have some pleasantries down there. I can't see either of the numbers of the players. One from Eastern, one from Montana. It looks like
Best was one of them in there.
Best and Ty Dittman from Montana were having a chat. No, I stand corrected. It wasn't Dittman. It was Frank.
As both of them get to go to happily take a seat in the box. Pleasantries, obviously polite ones.
Well, he might have said, hey, you're going to go down to the Barrel House tonight after the game. You're welcome to come down. Something like that.
Hopefully they do come down. This looks like they're trying to figure out if it's going to be a 4v4 or if it's going to be a 5-on-5. Oh, decides it's going to be a 4v4 here with both players in the box. Face-off won by the Grizzlies. Center in pass there, deflected. Carew able to smother it.
Outstanding job by Crew on that one, because Montana, and I think it was Eddie Lockridge, snuck in behind the D-man from Eastern, and he had a point-blank shot on Crew, and Crew did a nice job of putting his paddle down on and stopping the shot.
Hamlin wins the face-off. Looks like we have a little bit of a stoppage here.
Well, the coaching staff for the Eastern's discussing something with the referee.
Are they asking why it's not on the scoreboard, maybe? The penalty? All we can do is speculate, ladies and gentlemen, make our own guess. But Coach Brad Baker was not happy about it, that's for sure.
They're having all kinds of problem getting this face-off right now. I know that one. They've had 4 whistles going on in this right now. Well, they got one penalty up for There they go.
There it is. Yep, that's what you. Yep, and just gave the 2 thumbs up. Coach Brad Baker is pleased. That means everybody's pleased here, ladies and gentlemen. Face off one there. Cheney able to send it around the boards. Huss brings it out. Shot there by Lockridge, sent wide. Cheney looks for Kaiser. Kaiser sends it into the neutral zone. Grizzlies bring it right back in. Centering pass looking for Hamlin. Here comes Kaiser the other way. Kaiser's wrister covered up. And Hayes is not able to get it out of his glove hand in time.
We got a slash on somebody. That's going to go against the Grizzlies, Eddie Lockridge. He's going in the box for a couple minutes.
4-on-3. Great opportunity here to level things up for the Eagles.
It's huge right now. There's no question in my mind. This is a turning point in this game.
I feel like with only about halfway through the third period, this almost feels like a must take advantage of opportunity.
They got Lusk and Hunt out there with Florco, and I'm trying to see who the other player
Smith is out there. And Eriks. Smith, Eriks, Florco, and Hunt on the power play here. A 4-on-3. Pad save there by Hayes. And Hunt beats Hayes. Bible sends it in, and we're knotted up at 2 apiece.
Outstanding job by Eastern on that one. I can't say enough about them. Hunt snuck down, and Smith and Eriks did a superb job of blocking Hayes' view. They both just basically stood right in front of him, and then when Hunt took the shot, Smith lifted his leg up. Nice job by those 2 players to let Hunt have that point-blank shot. Hayes couldn't have saw that puck. There's no way he could have saw that.
Without question. And it felt like, honestly, that Hunt was the angle had almost gotten away from him because he was so close to being level on the bottom circle there on the left side.
But like we were talking about before the play started, that was an outstanding power play lineup the Eastern put out there because of the speed that they have and their heads up by all the players involved out there. Nice job by Eastern.
We're going to be on the 4v4 here for the next 40 seconds roughly. So we're going to get a delayed penalty here. It looks like it was going to be a potential hook on the Eagles.
Thompson's going in the box, no question about that.
It looks like he had caught him with a hook there. So now it's going to be a 4-on-3 opportunity for the Grizzlies.
But you notice what Eastern's done this period like they did in the first. They're attacking Montana. They're not sitting back like they did in the second period. They're going right after them, and that's causing Montana some problems right now.
Grizzlies win the face-off, swing it around up towards the blue line.
Got all kinds of open ice out there right now.
It's going to be some free-flowing hockey without question. Tuahula has it by the circle, swings it across, mishandled there by the Grizzlies.
Grizzlies did a nice job of sneaking that guy down from low to high on that one and almost had an open shot.
Switch pass there. Great block.
Nice job by Dinwiddie on that one. He threw his body and blocked that one.
As they look for Carew covers it up. It's still going to be a power play for the next minute 30, but
That
Now
was
to a
a su-
5-on-4.
that was a superb job by Dinwiddie. I mean, that had to hurt, even though he's not showing signs, but he went down and did a nice job of stopping that, because that was a rocket shot by the Grizzlies on that one.
It was a lovely pass, too.
It
Right.
was.
It almost felt like that one had a very good chance of going in if Dinwiddie didn't lay out there. Grizzlies probe here. Send it up towards the circle, looking for Knutson. Knutson picks it up over by the blue line, sends it back around. Dinwiddie tries to pick it up and clear. Nice forecheck there by Kaiser. Hendrickson heads back after feeling the effects of that one. Morrison is able to bring it back in. Looks for Knutson, back to Morrison. Switch pass there. Good stick there by the Eagles.
Again, that's Dinwiddie out there throwing his stick around. He's the one that actually changed that pass.
Kaiser's able to dump it back down. About 35 seconds left here on the power play on the Thompson penalty. Grizzlies have it in the neutral zone as they bring it back in with speed. Wrap it around the net. Looking for a centering pass. Just poked away by Cheney. Send up back to the blue line by Perrick. Perrick swings it around to the right circle. Knutson out in front. Looking for another pass. Morrison unable to get a piece of it.
Cheney sacrificed his body on that one. That's how the pass didn't go through. They would have had a point-blank shot. Nice job by ACHA.
Centering for Knutson. Pass there. Good check there by Eriks. As Morrison looked like he had another out in front opportunity. Just under 7 minutes remaining here in this one. 2 apiece, 25 shots apiece. A very level game as Hunt plays the wood out in the neutral zone. Grizzlies pick it up and they bring it right back in. Lee with speed tries to make a move on Cheney. Carew smothers it.
Eastern's definitely picking up the body checking, and it seems to be slowing down and bothering the Grizz a tad bit. They're not really sure how they want to handle that. But I noticed on that power play the Grizzlies had, and I liked what they were doing. They were moving their guy in front of Carew, and he wouldn't stand still. He kept going back and forth, and that makes the defenseman chase him. So nice job by the Grizzlies on that one.
Factor won the face-off. Grizzlies are able to keep it in, however. They make a centering pass there. Shot sent wide.
Man, Montana's got some guys that have rockets for shots.
Good poke check there as Flood brings it into the neutral zone. Lovely deke there. That's got to be a penalty.
And I'm wondering if they don't go for a penalty shot on that one. That doesn't look like it, but they could have, because Frank definitely.
Frank is asking the question,
because he did a heck of a deke on the Grizzly defense, but he had a breakaway, and the guy just pulled him down. And I can see why Flood is not happy with not getting a penalty shot on that one.
As it's Frank that heads in.
Another
about 6 minutes remaining.
Sorry, Blaine. Another opportunity here for the Eagles. If they could put in the puck in the net right now, the momentum would definitely be all theirs.
Face off one. Florco's able to keep it in. Sends it around the boards. Hendrickson skies it down to the other side of the ice. Carew picks it up around his own net. Gives it to Kaiser. Pressure by the Grizzlies. Looking for a potential shorthanded opportunity. Kaiser's able to clear it away as he comes back into the neutral zone with speed. Kaiser tries to leave it for Lusk. Poke check there by the Grizzlies as they send it around the boards. Picked up by Florco. He gives it back to Kaiser. As Kaiser probes, swings it out to Hunt. Up by the blue line. Wrister there. Saved by Hayes. Best just missed the potential deflection there out in front.
But again, the Eastern has got to look for Best on this. So he's doing it again. He snuck in behind. Nobody picked him up, and he's just waiting for a tip in.
And the one thing that I really like about this Eastern power play line is that they put Hunt in there as like a defenseman, but they interchange with Lusk, Kaiser, and Hunt. All three being that second defenseman. Florka out there as well.
Yeah.
Really trying to force the issue offensively.
Crew decided to take a player down.
Florka brings it around.
Brendan's no nonsense in his crease. If you get in there, he's going to let you know he wants you out.
Well, especially after that little hit that he took in the first period, he's not going to let anything by it anymore. Grizzlies send it down. 40 seconds remaining on the power play. Pass from Kaiser looking for Hunt. Picked up by Lusk as he brings it back in. Lusk tries to make it deep there. Good poke check by the Grizzlies that they kind of go 3-on-1 on him. As it's brought back in by the Grizzlies. Good stick there by Dinwiddie. He finds Hunt in the neutral zone. He brings it in. Hunt looking for Kaiser on the opposite side. Unable to keep it in as the Eagles have to regroup. Dinwiddie sends it in. Picked up by the Grizzlies as the Grizzlies power play. The penalty kill ends up coming to an end. They're back to full strength. Under 4 minutes remaining in this one. Grizzlies are able to pick it up. Send it into the neutral zone. Grizzlies pick it up. Bring it into the blue line. Led by Frank. Frank's able to keep it in the corner. Looking for that potential centering pass. Poke check there by Hofacker is able to clear it. Eagles come back the other way. No icing. The Grizzlies bring it up back in. It's Balk that has it. Got a broken stick here out on the ice. Knutson sends it back in. Balk brings it all the way around. Looking for a potential pass. Puck's deflected. Lusk picks it up in the neutral zone. Very frantic hockey in these last couple of minutes. Grizzlies pick it right back up. Brought back in. Kaiser's poke check. Brings it in the neutral zone. He brings it back in. Tries to use the Grizzly defender as a screen. Blocked, however. Grizzlies dump it right back in. And this will be an icing. Oh, the frantic 2.5 minutes there, Gary.
Yeah, I think both teams needed a quick little break on that one. That would be one of those good icing calls on that. But, again, there's a timeout by Montana. Eastern get new players on that one, but even though Montana has to stay on the ice, they needed that break.
I think that was a wise timeout by Montana.
Very
Just
wise.
to give them a quick breather here.
But it was, you're right. You worded it correctly on the frantic part. They were just going at each other on that one.
You couldn't tell what was everything was just happening in the neutral zone. You couldn't even tell who had the puck or whatnot. With that broken stick out there, you couldn't tell what was what.
Yeah, the broken stick stopped at 3 or 4 good passes actually by both teams, and so
an inadvertent poke check by the ice tonight.
But it's been an extremely entertaining game. I really like what Eastern did. They came out in the third period and really decided to attack again, make it wide open, and it's worked for them really well. They've slowed down Montana with that style, and they started to pick up the body, which slowed down Montana a little bit. We talked about that in the second period, but that's a good way to slow a team down. Use your body on them, and they'll start thinking twice before they start just going for those long stretch passes. But Mitch is getting the fans riled up here. He's telling them to get going. They're responding, so it'll be an interesting 2 minutes and 27 seconds.
It's coming off the ice. A little bit of stalling right there.
Yeah, he wanted to give him a little bit of extra time.
Face off won by the Eagles. Shot deflected there. Grizzlies are able to pick it up and send it around. Grizzlies trying to dictate a play here. Centering pass into the neutral zone. Swung around here. Brought back in. Wrister deflected by Dinwiddie. Out in front in the middle. Grizzlies are able to poke check it away. Hendrickson brings it around to the circle. Centering pass there. Pad stopped by Carew. Grizzlies continue to probe here out by the circle. Centering pass. Poke check there. Smith brings it away for the Eagles. A minute 40 left. Hunt from the circle. Lister sent high and out of play.
That was a class act by the Grizzlies right there. They both collided with each other, and he ended up on top. Trying to think who he landed on, and he patted him on the helmet, make sure there was nothing ill intention. That was Thompson that went down. One thing I got to mention, I've really been impressed with Eastern staying out of the penalty box tonight, too. They've done an outstanding job of that.
Eric sends it back in. Picked up by the Grizzlies. A minute and a half remaining in the third period. Send up to Kaiser. He sends it into the Eagles zone.
I did like what I saw with Eriks and Floker on that when they were doing tape-to-tape passes amongst themselves, waiting for an Eastern player to break, and they tried that, and Best gave it a whirl. Grizzlies intercepted, but that was a nice job by Eastern on that.
Grizzlies bring it right back in. Knudsen with a poke check there. Mishandled by the Grizzlies as it goes into the neutral zone. Just under a minute remaining here in regulation. We're still tied. Pass out ahead. Knudsen wins it, looks for a centering pass. Eagles pick it up. Kaiser dumps it in on Hayes. Lusk gives chase, sends it around the boards. 35 seconds remaining. And the Grizzlies bring it into the neutral zone, looking for a switch pass. Grizzlies have it at the circle. Centering pass out in front. Knudsen almost falls on top of the puck, and here's a whistle with 18 seconds remaining.
That was a great job by Lusk running interference and made sure that the Grizzly player didn't get loose on him, and that prevented that because it would have been a 2-on-1. So nice heads-up play by him.
Face-off here just outside the blue line. Grizzlies win the face-off. Smith picks it up in the neutral zone. He dumps it in. 10 seconds remaining. Grizzlies have it, send it around the boards into the neutral zone. Lister from outside sent wide, and that is it. We will have some free hockey tonight. It is 2-2. We're heading to overtime.
Very, very good hockey game tonight. Both teams have played it really well, but I'm really happy to see what the Eastern's done because they played like they did in the first period. They did it just attack, and that slowed down Montana quite a bit. And they were having trouble handling Eastern on that one. And that's where Eastern is really tough, is when they play that wide open, anticipatory style of hockey. They have so much speed on this team and extremely heady players. It worked in their favor. The Eastern played a solid 2 periods tonight. And the second period, I think it was just more the adjustments by Montana that caught them off guard. But Eastern really responded well in the third period. Very entertaining hockey game. I would encourage people, if you can, make it out tomorrow night to watch both these clubs play again. They're extremely evenly matched. And you can tell by the style of play that real similar in their styles. Really, really good play by both goaltenders. They change ends on this one. It'll be 3-on-3 hockey for 5 minutes. If they don't get it settled here, they should go to a shootout fashion. But if you like goaltending competition, this was it. Both goaltenders have stood on their head tonight. Both squads should feel good about their net minding. Best is in the face-off circle for Eastern. Wins draw. Kicks it back to Dinwiddie, who kicked it over to Kaiser. So we got Best, Kaiser, and Dinwiddie for Eastern. Knutson, Toholas out there for Montana. I can't pick up the third person's number. And that's Dylan for Harris. And they just scored. The Montana Grizzlies popped a quick shot. They did a nice job of coming down on the near boards, and they cut right in front. I think it caught everybody off guard on that one, and a nice little feather shot by Montana. And they win the game 3-2.
I missed it.
You missed it, Blaine.
I'm trying to explain overtime rules to my staff.
It was just a little. It was an innocent play, actually. It was just they did a nice feather pass over, and they caught it in between the post and the pad. But Eastern can't hang their head. It was a heck of a game by them. But it was a quick goal by Montana. Tip your hats off to Montana. They played a heck of a game, too. So it'll be one heck of a battle tomorrow. I can tell you that right now.
Absolutely, everybody. This is Blaine Spencer and Gary Allen signing off. Tune in tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for a rematch of the Montana Grizzlies and the East Washington Eagles.
See you at the Barrel House.